Hello everyone. Today I am going to talk about 10 stocks. I will give my technical view on them. However, it will only be my technical view, not any advice nor any recommendation. Therefore, take advice of your financial advisor before taking any trade. I will give my view on two bases. First will be my view for the next few hours to a couple of days, and the next will be from a few days to a couple of weeks. So starting with the first stock, it's Infosys. Infosys recently announced its splendid results and buyback. So coming on to 15 minutes chart, starting it has slightly negative trend. However, the pink line is not above 20, so therefore it isn't very strong. RSI also has very weak strength, therefore a little weakness is observed in the stock. We can see on 15 minutes it has consolidated a whole day and then fell below that consolidating range. Coming on to support and resistances, on Ichimoku it has resistance at 53 and 58 and a thick cloud, nothing below it. Coming on to DMAs or moving averages, we have strong 200 candle moving average at 88, then 100, 77, then 50 at 63, then 20 at 57. All are above it, even 5 and 10. This is showing the stock is negative on 15 minutes and has strong resistances above it. Now coming on to the daily chart of the stock, we have neutral trend on DMI because red and orange and blue are at the same place, whereas the pink is below 20, therefore no trend, no significant one side trend. RSI is also falling, however it has slowed the pace at which it was falling, as if it's starting to consolidate in this range, signifying no trend. Coming on to support and resistances, we have strong resistance at 98 and 95, the Ichimoku resistance. The cloud is very thin, therefore in the next 4 to 5 days it can easily break below it. However, there isn't any significant strength in it to break it. Coming on to the DMAs, the stock is sitting at 50 DMA at 1343 with 100 DMA at 1277 and 200 at 1155. The other two DMA are far below its price, 100 being about 80 rupees below its price, 200 being about 200 rupees below its price, therefore they are inconsequential. The 20, 10 and 5 DMA are above it. 5 DMA has crossed 10 DMA, giving a negative signal. Now coming on to the next stock, which is Tamil Nadu Petro products. Coming on to its 15 minutes chart, the trend is very positive. However, there might be a consolidation because the pink line has reached a level from where it fell. Over here we can see as the pink line started to decline, the stock consolidated or slightly corrected. The same was observed over here. Therefore, there are chances it might consolidate. RSI on the other hand is at a level where it should have stopped, as we can see over here. I will draw the line. It should have stopped, as we can see over here. It's strong support, but it fell below it, therefore it might come till 45. Therefore a small correction can be observed in the stock. Coming on to support and resistances, it has support at 66 and resistance at 69, with cloud being very thick but far below its price, therefore not of any much importance. Coming on to moving averages, all its major moving averages are far below its price at 50, 65, 61, 57, therefore not much to talk about for on 15 minutes candle chart. 20 being at 67 provides slight support, with the stock struggling to cross the 50 and 100, 5 and 10 DMA since a few candles, and which are at 68.96 and 68.73. Coming on to its daily chart, we have strong positive trend in the stock. However, the blue line has sharply increased and might come down a little, therefore the stock might consolidate over here. RSI also, you can see it has reached a level from where it has fallen in the past over here at 84, 85. Coming on to support and resistances, we have support at 59 and 58, far below its price, 10 rupees below its price. Therefore the gap has increased increased, and might be the stock might consolidate or correct to decrease the gap as it did over here. We can see the gap over here was of same 7 to 8 rupees. The stock corrected till the gap was reduced and even declined below the support. Coming on to DMAs, the DMAs are far below the. There is a huge gap between major DMAs and the price. Major DMAs being starting from 46, 49, 42, and stock being at 69. 20 rupees below the major DMA starts. Therefore, there is a huge gap between the strong DMAs and stock price. Coming on to the next chart, over here one more thing I would like to say, even the 5 DMA is at 61, more than 10% below the price. Therefore, this is not a correct situation to take your trade in. However, this isn't any advice, it's just my technical view. Coming on to next stock, which is scams. Computer Age Management Services Limited. The stock is positive on DMI, however, ADX has risen above its previous highs, therefore, there are chances it might decline over here. The pink line RSI is also above 70, which is good from some traders point of view, which is overbought from some trader point of view, depend upon your own analysis. Coming on to Ichimoku support and resistances, we have two strong resistances at 2027 and 1975. So in the 5% range we have two strong supports. To be exact, we have two strong supports in the range of 3.71%. Therefore, the downside might be limited with the cloud thickening and rising in the future. Coming on to DMAs, we have major DMAs far below its price, more than 5% below its price, starting at 1921. However, the good thing is the DMAs are perfectly aligned, meaning 5, 10, 20, 50, 100, 200. 5 DMA being the closest and above 10 DMA gives a positive signal. However, it gave a positive signal far back on 15th April 10 am. Therefore, a trade now might be a little late or might rise. Therefore, I have no comments on that. Coming on to daily chart, the blue line has significantly increased. It has given a breakout above a consolidation or a downward trend line, which is very good, but blue line has significantly increased. Therefore, the stock might rise for another day at max, as per my view, and the pink line is below 20. Therefore, no strength in the positive trend till the time it crosses 20. RSI is also crossing 70 level, therefore the stock might consolidate. However, we have a strong breakout in RSI as well over here with a breakout in stock, therefore, which is a good signal for positive point of view. Coming on to support and resistances, we have support at 1935 and 1920, about more than 5% below the price. As the stock price surged drastically today, the support and stock price have a huge gap. Ichimoku cloud is very bleak or very thin, therefore not acting as a strong support over here. Not very strong support, but yes, slightly it will act as a support at 1860 to 1817. Coming on to DMAs, we do not have 200 DMA because of insufficient data. 100 DMA is at 1710, 300 rupees below the price, 50 at 1826, which is also 200, 250 rupees below the price, 240 to be precise. But we have 5, 10 and 20 DMA in the 200 price range. However, a consolidation might be good for the stock above the breakout level, not below it, in my opinion. The DMAs and stock price have a huge gap between them. That's my opinion. Coming on to the next stock, which is Gujarat Alkali. In its 15 minutes chart, there is a strong, I won't say strong, but a building negative trend. Pink line being above 20 and orange line above being above blue. The orange line is rising whereas the blue line is declining, meaning negative trend is strengthening, positive trend is weakening. Also, what we can observe is three red candles with increasing volume. Therefore, the stock has fallen with increased volume. Therefore, a strong downside, or we can say the downtrend is strengthened with volume. This is the importance of volume we observed over here as well. Volume increased while the price decreased. Therefore, we can see in the next few days the consolidation is also on slightly on the downside only. Slightly, but yes, on the downside. RSI is also very low. There might be a bounce in RSI, or maybe the RSI will break this support and give a negative trend. Let's see what happens. Ichimoku has strong resistances at 413 and 420 with cloud, very thick strong cloud starting from 424 to 443, 10% above, but yes, the start is just 5% above, which is very strong resistance in my opinion. Coming on to DMA, it has broken below 100 moving average at 415, but has strong support of 200 moving average at 398. There are many negative crossovers observed here. 5 crossing below 200, 10 crossing below 220, about to cross below 200, and a negative perfect setup is forming. 5, then 20, then 20, then 50. Only 100 and 200 are left in this setup. As we observed in positive trend, same thing in negative trend. Coming on to its daily chart, we have good positive uptrend. As I said in the last talk, sharp rise in blue leads to consolidation in the blue, or any, even red also. Sharp rise is never good. However, the good thing is over here pink has crossed above 20, therefore strengthening the positive trend. The stock has given a massive breakout over 1 year's consolidation, this range, and is expected to rise, but after a consolidation, in my opinion, will be good. Coming on to support and resistances, we have strong support at 404 and 398. The cloud is very thin, start at 346 with rising till 400 in starting from 18th April to 24th April. Coming on to moving averages, the cloud is rising, also starting to rise after a few days. Therefore, which is not as good because the support is far below the price. The moving averages are forming a perfect pattern, have formed actually with 5, then 10, then 20, then 50, then 100, then 200. 50 200 has just crossed 200, which is a positive signal. However, 200 is more than 15% below its price at 343, and 100 even at 344. The 50 is also at 353 and 20 is at 372. Only concern is the supports are far below the price, which Ichimoku provides good because the supports are close to the price. Therefore, mixing the both, we can say that by the time the moving averages come near the price, Ichimoku will support the stock. Coming on to the next stock, which is JSW Steel. When I start with its 15 minutes chart, it has given a breakdown over here. This consolidation, it has given breakdown. However, is also at a slight support with a strong support over here at 600. There is slight negative trend building because the pink is above 20 and orange is above blue and pink as well. The RSI might give a breakout on the downside below the 30 level. However, when we go in the past, this is where it bounces generally. Therefore, there might be a bounce because the negative trend isn't very strong. But again, we observed falling with higher volume signifies strengthening downtrend. Coming on to support and resistances, it has strong thick resistance cloud starting at 623 over here on this candle at 622, lasting till 627 to 629. Ichimoku resistance at 623 and 626, therefore having strong resistances. Coming on to moving averages, we have JSW on 100 moving average at 616 and the stock is at 617, to be precise 616.58. the 200-day moving average at 591.65. So two strong moving averages at 616.58 and 591.65 may restrict its downside. However, there are chances the stock might give a bounce from here, but if it breaks 100, there are chances it might touch 200. It just broke down below 50 at 624 and gave a death cross of 5 over 50, 10 over 50, and 20 is about to cross 50, which might trigger a negative side also. Coming on to its daily chart, the trend is very positive. However, the pink line might consolidate or make a peak over here. Chances are there it might rise to 66 as well. RSI is also very risen, and as we can see in the past also over here, it has started to fall from this level of 90 only. Chances are there it might start rising again. Coming on to support and resistances, we have two support at 573 and 520, both of which are far below to take them as a support, because for trading bet for a 2 week 40 rupees over 600 is a major loss. So we cannot, and the cloud is far below at 414, more than 35% below, 30 to 35% below. Coming on to moving averages are again in the perfect shape: 5, 10, 20, 50, 100, 200, but major supports are far below, because 50 is at 471, 100 is at 421, and 200 is at 365. Even 20 is far below at 536. Therefore, the stock doesn't have strong supports based on moving averages. Coming on to next stock, over here also the gap between supports and stock price has increased significantly. The next stock is Laurus Labs. In Laurus Labs, we can see there is a positive trend with pink line stabilizing over 20 since a few days, RSI being in this range since a few days. Therefore, there are chances it might consolidate, it might continue the trend again. Over here we can see it gave a breakout above this intraday breakout, and it has started to rise again as well, started to consolidate or retrace as well. So the stock is positive in my opinion. Coming on to support and resistances, it made a resistance of 445 but has a support of 441. The thick cloud starts from 437 to 431, and in the future days 432 and 439. Coming on to moving averages, we have started to see a decline in the 5 candle moving average. Again, 100 and 200 are far below the price at 431 and 419, whereas 20 and 50 might provide some support to the stock at 442 and 438. The stock has stayed above 10 candle moving average at 444, but has crossed 5 candle moving average at 445. Coming on to its daily chart, we have strong positive trend because the pink line is above and the blue line has sustained above as well, and it has given a massive breakout over here as well, and has sustained over the breakout level for a long time, and we can see it has broken sort of this range and this range, majorly this range, because it has consolidated in this range much and has given a massive breakout. Coming on to support and resistances, we have support at 407 and 393. The cloud is very thin, but starting from 359 going up till 399. The good thing is the cloud is rising. The stock has results on 20th May as well, which are far off from now. Coming on to moving averages, the stock has touched 100 moving average in the past because it has consolidated. The only concern is if it continues to rise as it did over here. The gap increased so much that the stock consolidated from October to March. Why? Because for October, November, December, January, February, March, 6 months. Why? Because the stock is strong, fundamentals are strong, therefore there was no need of correction but only upside. The gap was increased, therefore, to bring the moving average up. It's like a magnet. Whenever the distance increases, they are like a magnet and pull each other. How? Either the moving average pulls the stock down or the stock pulls the moving average above, whichever is stronger. Here the stock is stronger, and in my opinion, this sector is also very strong and the stock is also very strong. Fundamentally, I'm not recommending any bet. The stock has sustained above 5-day moving average, 10-day moving average, even 20 and 50 for long, and might show the strength in the stock as well. The breakout also had considerably good volume over here, with the only concern being the rise in the stock has been brought by decrease in the volume that might suggest a slight correction or consolidation. Correction meaning retracement, and consolidation meaning staying in a range from here. The next stock that we are talking about is Dr. Reddy. Recently, it got approval from the government to manufacture Sputnik vaccine. Coming on to its 15-day chart, 15-minute candle, we have neutral trend on DMI. Pink line crossing might cross below 20 with blue and orange at the same place. RSI is also falling and has reached the level where the stock shows no trend, neither positive nor negative. As you can see, the stock RSI stood between 35 to 55 range. The stock moved nowhere. It also has no technical breakout. Only thing is it might be a breakout above this consolidation and retracement, but might start another consolidating range. Time will only tell. Coming on to support and resistances, it stuck between a support and resistance of 4907 resistance and 4877 support. Only thing is that it's stuck inside such a thick cloud. But what can be a good thing if it doesn't fall much in till here in the next 20 30 minutes, meaning two candles, the stock might get out of the cloud on a positive note, meaning it might come out of the cloud with a strong support below it, this thick cloud. Therefore, that might be a good angle to see the cloud is rising. As we can see, it has started rising, therefore the support is also rising. The one thing that may happen is the stock rising with the rising cloud. The next thing we can observe is DMS. The 5 DMS crossed below 10, coming to 20. The stock has also crossed below 20 and is about to touch 50 at 48.67. The 100 and 200 are far below at 48.39. To be honest, 100 is comparatively nearer to the price, but 200 is at far off at 47.72, meaning 110 points or 111 to be precise. The 200 DMA is very far, and we can see the stock taking support from 100 quite a number of time, and we may expect it to bounce from 100 as well. Coming on to its daily chart, we have good positive trend observed in daily chart. The RSI is also rising, which is good, and also there is a slanting trend line breakout, but it happened many days back, therefore its strength or its effect might have been over. We cannot say about that. The results are on 14th May, which are comparatively far off from here. Coming on to support and resistances, it might go out of the cloud on the upper side with support at 47.84 and 46.39. It has struggled to cross the cloud, but has shown strength by not falling from here. Yes, it struggled to cross a resistance, but it didn't fall much from the resistance. It is at resistance level only, as if touching it and touching it to cross it again, and this time give a successful breakout. However, we have 100 and 200 strong supports at 46.93 and 45.50 respectively. The stock crossed above 200, consolidated for 3 days, crossed above 100, consolidated for 3 days, and now started rising again. Now there are golden crosses being observed, being 20 crossing 200, 20 crossing 50, 10 crossing 50, 20, 200 and 100 as well. 5 crossing all the 5 DMAs as well. Therefore a positive trend is forming, and we can see if the stock rises for the next 5 days, we can see a perfect pattern in the stock, meaning 5, 10, 20, 50, 100 DMAs in order. The good thing about this is it has consolidated over two key DMAs and they are not very far off. Coming on to the next stock, over here one more thing to observe is that RSI might have given a breakdown below this line. As you can see, it might have given a breakdown, might consolidate, therefore need to observe on your own calculation and your own practice or experience as you have seen. Next stock is Bank of Baroda. Coming on to its 15 minutes chart, we have no significant trend, pink line being below 20. It's rising slightly with orange line above, therefore slightly negative trend. However, it has support over here at 65. The only thing that might bring to a strong support is this. This is a very strong support and might respect it or might give a breakout from here. This might be a breakout on the downside, but we have that strong support as well. RSI is also on the downside. We can see that RSI has formed this breakout. However, it might consolidate in the low strength zone or below 30-40 as well as it continues to do. Let's see what happens. Coming on to support and resistances, it has no support on Ichimoku, with resistances being at 67.53 and 68.28, and cloud currently being at 67.45 and 68.05, rising to 67.8090 to 68.2060. Therefore, the cloud is rising. It has fallen below the cloud and below supports as well, making all of it as a resistance. Coming on to DMAs, it has a perfect negative pattern, meaning 5, 10, 20, 50, 100, 200. 100, 200 are far above at 68.75 and 70.09, therefore acting as strong resistance. We can see the stock failed to cross 50 DMA over here, hence showing slight weakness in the stock as well. The 50, 20, 10 and 5 are very close to the price at 68.06, 67.81, 67.60, 67.47. However, they are not as strong resistance as 100 and 200. Coming on to its daily chart, we have slightly strengthening downtrend because pink has slightly started to increase with orange above it and blue below it. However, we have also observed a sharp decline in the stock price as well. What we can see, there might be, I'm not sure saying there is, but there might be a head and shoulder pattern. Let's see if it forms over here, sort of this. If this is a head and shoulder pattern, then the fall on either on below side would be 66 and 100, meaning 34 rupees from here, which is highly unlikely, meaning the stock falling 50%. Therefore, we need to check whether the pattern is correct as well. Coming on to support and resistances, we have resistance at 71.13 and 74.15. The cloud is very thin over here, but over here it has resistance at 80, 85, going down till 73, 82. Currently the resistance is increasing or rising and then falling sharply from 77 to over here 78. Coming on to moving averages, it has started to consolidate at 200-day moving average at 66 and 100-day at 70. It is stuck between these two for 4 days, with 50 at 74, 20 at 72, 10 at 70 and 5 at 68. 5 has started to cross below all moving averages, triggering downward movement. However, the key thing is whether it stays above or below 200. RSI also has no strength. Negative trend has started to increase. Might be it gives a breakout on the downside as well. However, This is not sure. The good thing is it has stayed above 200 for long. Coming on to next stock, which is Dixon Technologies. When we talk about it recently had a split. When we talk about its 15 minutes candle, it is very positive on 15-minute candle, the DMI. The DMI might increase, might consolidate from here, or if it increases, might increase even till 70 to 75. Therefore, after a slight consolidation, in my opinion, there might be, because we can see rise, consolidate, rise, now again consolidate, then rise, then consolidate. There might be a rise in the stock observed as well. A good thing to observe is we can see over here these three candles that the rise brought by high volume, then the consolidation brought by decreasing volumes or no volume at all, then again rise with high volume over here, then again consolidation with weak volume or nearly zero volume, and then again rise with high volume. This is good thing to observe. However, the recent red candle was formed with considerably high volume, therefore this might be a slight concern. Coming on to support and resistances, it has one close support of 3702, then second support at 3630. Good thing is the cloud is increasing from over here at 3529 and 3509 to 3579 and 3570 to 3593, 3570, again till 3607, 3570, over here 3667 and 3570. Coming on to moving averages, we have seen it cross above 200 moving average, consolidated over it, and again began to rise. The T has crossed 100 and might cross 200, thus giving a positive signal as well. 5 has crossed every DMA, 10 has crossed every DMA, 20 has crossed every DMA. Only the 50 and 100 are concerned now, making it a perfect pattern for moving averages. Coming on to its daily chart, the stock has currently no trend. The pink line below crossing below 20 with blue and orange line nearly at the same price signifies no specific strong trend. RSI is also in the range of neither positive trend nor negative trend, without any significant strength on either side, neither weak positive trend nor strong positive trend, neither weak negative trend nor strong negative trend. Coming on to support and resistances, we have a strong support at 3610 and resistance at 3910. It has crossed above the cloud. One thing to observe, whether it stays above the cloud or enters the cloud again, will be crucial. However, we have seen that it hasn't even touched the cloud bottom, which shows it is respecting cloud as its strong support. Coming on to moving averages, the 100 is near at 32.35. Still, it's more than 10% below, but considerably nearer compared to 200 at 26.33. Only concern is the sharp rise made a strong gap between these support and price. There might be a consolidation or correction to bring this moving average near the price. However, it isn't sure if the stock has risen all the way from here, so it might continue to rise as well. There is no surety. Good thing is it has closed above all moving averages: 5, 10, 20, 50, 100, 200. On one candle it broke 4 moving averages, even 50, which shows strength in the stock of rising. Therefore, but the next candle is important because we have observed the same thing over here as well. Crossed above all these but came below. Therefore, this needs to be observed. There wasn't any significant volume observed in the stock. Therefore, it raises a concern. The good thing is that all the moving averages are close, and if it crosses above it, there will be strong support zone in this area. The next stock and the last stock is Indiamart. Coming on to its 15 minutes candle, we have the stock with increasing trend. Basically the trend has started to decline but is above 20. Red above orange above blue, meaning negative trend. Sorry, the trend is declining actually. Now coming on to trend lines, there might be a slight breakout observed in the stock, therefore the decline in the price. RSI started to fall and even the same breakout was observed in RSI as well over here. Considerable breakout. The one thing to be concerned about is whether it breaks below this line, below 30 to 35 range. If it breaks below, a significant or severe downfall might be observed in the stock. Coming on to support and resistances, it has cloud as all the things are above it, meaning resistances. Ichimoku lines being at 79,888 and 88,020. The cloud starting from 79,84 to 80,42 over here, and then increasing to 8,004 to 8,035 over 36 over here. To be exact, 34. Coming on to moving averages, it is below all moving averages and a significant perfect negative trend observed. 5, then 10, then 20, then 50, then 100, then 200. 200 being far above at, not far above but considerably above 8,032. 100 being at 8,023. 50 at 8,004. Yellow meaning the 20 at 8,003. 10 at 7,997, 5 at 7,987. It has failed to cross 200 on a number of occasions, therefore might be bad for the stock as well on the upper side. Coming on to its daily chart. On the 15-minute chart, the only thing was if it crosses above 200, if it crosses, then it will have a strong support zone below it. But the only thing is if it crosses. On daily chart, there is no significant trend, being the pink line, the red, orange line and the blue line. Orange line near 20 while the other two far below 20 or approximately at 15. Therefore no significant trend. The the same is shown by RSI being consolidating in this zone since a month, a little more than a month, and the stock has also risen, then came down to those levels, then again risen, then coming down nearly to those levels. Therefore, not any significant strength is observed in the stock. Coming on to volume, the volume is also stagnant, meaning nothing significant to either side. It's like a normal consolidated trading. Coming on to support and resistances, there is resistance at 8,092 and 8,100 near to the price. It has failed to cross successfully above them. Why successfully? Because over here it crossed, then came down, again crossed, then came down. Now it's failed to cross it 4 days. 1 2 3 4. One more bad thing is it's near the bottom of the cloud, therefore breaking the cloud on the downside is very easy for the stock, and the upside resistance is also far above the stock from 8,080 to 8,347. This is far above and will act as a strong resistance. Why? Because the stock is unlikely to cross the cloud from here, coming down to here and then again rising over here more than 10% on in a few days, in a week, is tough for the stock with no trend currently. Coming on to moving averages, it is below 5, 10, 15, 5, 10, 20, 50, which is very concerning. The 5 is below 10, the 5 is below 20, the 10 is below 20, and the 5 is near 50, and a fall in the stock might give a negative signal by 5 breaking below 50. The strong supports are at 73.68, which is about 8% down from here. The 200 is at 6,100, which is far below, meaning 1,800 from here. When I talk about in percentages, it is the 100 DMA is approximately 7.7% below, whereas the 200 DMA is approximately 23.7% below. Therefore, it might stop over here, but when we see in the past, it has come to 100, even 200, but hasn't crossed 200 only once for a single day, came back above it on the next day. Therefore, we can safely say that 200 might be the place where it will definitely stop, and 100 might be the place where it might stop. Again, it is not any advice, not any recommendation, just my technical view. So these were the 10 stocks for today, and hope it helped, and the video